Good morning. Today is 6th of July 2025, and we're going to be racing today. Today, we're going to be racing at Ballarat. This is in Victoria, and this is how the track looks like. The thing is, we're going to be racing in this inner track, which is the all-weather track. This is going to be synthetic. We've got about 7 races here today. The last finishing mile from the last bend to the finishing post somewhere here is about 450 meters. We have raced on this track rigorously last year, but this year, today is the first time that we are going to be racing on this synthetic track. This happens to be one of the best synthetic tracks hands down in Australia. It is a state-sponsored track, one of the best tracks in terms of quality. But we're going to be racing here approximately after 1 year, and we will see what we can do here. This used to be one of the best, as far as I remember. This used to be one of the best. So we'll see what we can do here today. Welcome to Grandstand, and we do horse racing almost 5 days a week. At least we try to. During this month of July, we have no other option, but we have to skip a few races because we're not getting the right tracks. At times, the tracks are heavy, or they're not in a condition where we can race confidently. So we have reduced the number of races in the month of July. But that is very, very temporary. We are looking forward to get back to 5 days a week racing from the next month onwards again. That's what we're looking at. And we race almost 5 days a week just because this month is rainy season in Australia. We are racing on chosen tracks. So and we race with the help of data science, mathematics, and a little bit of understanding of horse racing. The first thing that we do is we try and identify the best horses through physics, mathematics, a little bit of understanding of horse racing. And once we have identified the best horses, that's when we take a look at the horses at the paddock when we get the live stream from the paddock or the gates. If we find that all the horses are looking good and good to go with, we stick to our picks and place our bets. But if we find that there are better horses at the paddock and there are circumstantial changes, we do make changes with our bets and then play. It's horse racing, so we need to be vigilant. We need to be making decisions that are worthy and in favor of us, and that's exactly what we try and do. I've got 3 tabs, actually 2 tabs. The first one is where we get to see the races. The second one is RaceNet, where we take a look at the odds and the scratchings. And that's all that I have. So we'll see if we got the feed. Not yet. I think we'll get the feed in some time, but we'll have some.
Both these horses from Joe are pretty Vegas. It's $4.60 into $4. Behind off to Delago to Street 40.
Take the odds for the first one. There are no scratchings. 1, 2, 4, and 3.
I think he's still doing a bit wrong, but I think he's got a bit of class perhaps on a few of these country gallopers. In second, I put the 3 pretty Vegas, very honest. I thought Joey was confident enough there too. In for third, I put the 5 Miss Stalwart. So as far as an each way play goes, I think we could do a lot worse than have something on her on a heavy ground. And in for fourth, I put the 8 Locker, and it was good winning first up, and you're quite keen on that.
Yeah, she's $3 to field this horse off to Delago now. $3 to field is pretty Vegas loads up. It's $4.60 to $4.20. They're the main ones here. Bit of support from Tom Cassis, who got S, draws the inside Louise Day, $4.20 now. So there's no clear cut result here. The 6 has it at the present time. In a wide open market, it's off to the Largo. It's $3.40 into $3 from the 3. Pretty Vegas, $4.60 to $4.20, so it's short up a bit more. And then the 9, which is Tonka God S, $3.80 to $4.20. And then the one I do like Lock Aaron is $9 and the 5. So it's short the most, but it's still on the fourth line as betting. as Matt Day looks to take the first two races on the program. Calgary King goes in for a leisure collar. It is a $21 chance, and Pretty Vegas loads up as well. This race 2.
Impressive winner at Wagga first up. Rock Aaron sat wide the whole way. Steps up in grade today. It's the laterals accounting 66 benchmark. Final look at the board. Octodelago 290. Tonkatsu Goddess best back to beat him. Octodelago in the white jacket, drawn in close. And the two favourites drawn in close, gates 1 and 2. And they're off. Octodelago came away about midfield, perhaps a little worse than that. Tonkatsu Goddess was the first one to begin it, landed in front. Pretty Vegas coming across to join in. And Lock Aaron's in third position early. Calgary King's in fourth. They were followed then by a Book of Days, who's just caught one into the first turn from Octodelago third last. Eastman is second last, and Miss Stalwart is the last one. Pretty Vegas in front. The mare from Queanbeyan took up the running, 7:50 to go. Lock Aaron's in second position. Calgary King's in third. Tonkatsu Goddess is fourth. The Rails and a Book of Days, fifth and 3 wide. Then came Octodelago getting off the inside from Eastman, second last, and Miss Stalwart is the last one. They're on the turn at the 450, and Pretty Vegas held together. Lock Aaron's a length away second. Calgary King pushed along third. Tonkatsu Goddess just looking to get across the heels of the first two. Miss Stalwart followed it. Octodelago coming down the outside. Pretty Vegas in front from Lock Aaron. Tonkatsu Goddess got to third. Pretty Vegas in front from Lock Aaron. Tonkatsu Goddess is still coming. Pretty Vegas going well though. More than a length in front. Tonkatsu Goddess ran to second, but Pretty Vegas will lead all the way. Pretty Vegas beat Tonkatsu Goddess. Lock Aaron's run third. Octodelago fourth, but never really a hope. They were followed then by Miss Stalwart from Easement, Calgary King, and a Book of Days. Another one for Joe Cleary. Had a winner yesterday at Wagga.
Syndicate of Owners race this horse. Keegan Latham, our winning jockey. She has earnings now of about 115,000. Pretty Vegas, raced by a big syndicate of owners, and she's done a really good job in her career, hasn't she? I know she's had the 7 seconds, but that's a 4 point now from 24 starts. She's a horse that likes the stinging of the ground. She's had 2 wins here now from 4 starts, but importantly on the heavy, Kayla, she's had 6 starts, and with 2 wins, two seconds, and 2 thirds as well. She should be a real force over the winter months for sure. She's by Exo Fear out of a Swiss Ace mare in Mahani. Now for the minors, Taxetu Goddess has run second, the 9, good effort. The 8, Lock Aaron, after racing outside the leader, has run third. And Octodelago, who was our favourite, has ran fourth. So our winner pays $4.70. Joe, with a couple of good chances today, as we mentioned, and he's off to a flying start. And won a race yesterday at Wagga as well. So got there by length. And it wasn't much between second and third. 1 1/4 between second and third. 13.94 and 37.30 was the sectional. And Kayla's now with the winning trainer.
Yeah, she doesn't win out of turn, but there's not many mares that deserve to win more often than her.
Tries hard out, Carl. The phone's beeping. I might be the owners that owe the training fees. They might square up now. It was a bit of a blow-up last week, but let me tell you. So, no, she really deserves that. Like I said to you, pre-race, Carla, she's probably not up to that highway standard. So, just take our medicine, carry for 66. She carries weight well, and she really deserves that. So, it's 4 wins now and a shitload of placing. So, she's paid away. Like, not many horses went over 100,000, and she's done a job.
That's exactly right. Well done, Joey.
Cheers, mate.
Yeah, good performance there. She continues to build on a pretty good.
Right, this is the first one here at Ballarat. It's a benchmark 70 second up. If we look through the odds, we got 1, 2, 4, and 3. If we look through the rails, we get 4, 1, 2, and 3. The 1 is the linear, but it is a 4-figure linear. Okay. It's a benchmark 70. So it's a 4-figure linear. And we have got 2 of those neutrals coming up here. If we look through the spell, then 4 is the highest. 2 is the second highest. 1 is after that. Now there's a very, very good jockey on 1 that is there. There's a fantastic jockey on 1, which is there. And but the problem with that jockey is that jockey has been handicapped in a very strange way. We will see how that works. Chances are, if we look through this, then generally, okay, so there are a couple of updates that has happened. So the game has always been here within the rails. When we do not get things within the rails, then it is a problem. Then we need to look for the other advantages, but it has always been here. So it's a 1400 meter, and chances are I'm going to play from the very first bet today. There are only 7, so there is no there are only 7 races, so there's no reason to avoid, and it started with benchmark 70, so we'll try and see what happens. Anyway, so the 2 probably is the place. It's generally this one is the 3rd place. Okay, generally speaking, this is the 3rd place. It might get to a 2nd. That depends on how it has been placed, but generally this blue mark is the 3rd. So chances are 4 and 1. If we look at that, then the 2 is in between, which is giving us that. So probably that's the 3rd one. And these 2 are here. 4 definitely had the rails. 1 is the favorite. I'm going to go with a 4 and 1 queen on this one, and we'll see how it works, because if we look at the pressure and how it has been divided, this jockey, I am not sure whether he's going to win, and but the pressure is the highest. If we look at that, that's the highest pressure. It's the linear. It's a 4 figure. Chances are it'll burn out, because that's what we are getting here. It'll burn out, and that's the arrangement also, probably. Chances are 4 is going to win, but I'm not going to go and take that chance. I'm going to play 4 and 1. 2 probably is the 3rd. If 2 gets in as a 2nd, then it'll be a problem. Now here is the other thing. The jockey pressure. We've been measuring the jockey resistance here. We've been measuring the jockey resistance, but now I have recalculated this with the pressure, because I have to reduce the number of columns that we have for easy navigation. And the jockey is good, but he's been handicapped very strongly, and the horse has been handicapped very lightly. This if this was a 3 figure, I would have had a lot more advantage, confidence on this, but this is not a 3 figure. This is a 4 figure. I'll go with 1 and 4. 2 probably is the 3rd. So I don't want to go that adventurous with the first one, but that's more or less like what we are getting. The 3 is an 8-year-old. The other thing that might happen is these 37s, which are here. So both of them are 8-year-olds. I don't know whether they'll get in, they will not get in. But then there is a 35, which is here, which is the 6. That's way too far, and that's a lot of pressure on this jockey. So we will see how that works. 1 and 4 is what I'm going to go with if they do not get tailed.
Elliot going aboard 360 out of $6 and made a wide sustained run into a demo, but was way too strong in the end.
Yeah, it's this horse has come back really well now. First up, second at Ipswich behind Queen Star, and then it got the job done at Wollongbar, and back to its own track today, wide all the way, but has really hit the line strongly. So well done to Brian, well done to Michael Hellier, but a really strong performance by Destiny's Summit. Proving too good for Mashani Extreme, who has ridden quietly, got to the outside and has finished hard to get second. And Mashani Glaze, the two stablemates from the Mashani camp, has held on to get third. The favourite there, you've got to say, was a shade disappointing. Hit the switch, was tracking up behind the winner, but just didn't really finish the race off from the top of the straight. You've got Brian now, Brody.
Yeah, local trainer Brian Gentle. You must have been very confident when you saw Mick round the field and really truck into it.
Yeah, I actually just watched it live, so I haven't seen it on the TV, but it sounded pretty impressive.
I think you'll enjoy watching it once again. Now, speak to us about this 2-year-old, because last preparation you tested him in good grade, and then he's gone back-to-back here. He stepped up to the 1,200 metres. It looked to suit on paper, and it followed a really unlucky first-up run, so he must have come back much better this time around.
Yeah, look, I think it's probably going as well as last prep, but he had showed us a lot of ability last preparation. That's why we run him early, and when we had the stakes race, and that's all good order, and he's trialled well. He's run the other day. We took him back the distance just simply because he'd missed a bit of work and after his first up run, and then we bang him up to 1,200. We think he'll get 1,400 anyway. So.
I was going to say 1,400 off that sort of run today looks like it'll suit. Will it be something he sees this preparation, or maybe he's a 3-year-old?
Well, programming's pretty hard, difficult, but when he drew 14 today, we were sort of half thinking about scratching him and running on Saturday at Doom in the 1350, but we're happy we come here and we'll worry about that later.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right, Damien, that takes us away from the third event here at Bow Desert. We'll take you straight back down to Jason Witham. He's got the next up there in New South Wales alongside Linda Smith.
Yeah, thanks, Brody. All in the yard now for the second race of the afternoon. As you can see, it's 2-year-old handicap. 1,000 metres is the journey. Couple of the trial quite nicely here, but interesting little race. Number 1, Toke, certainly fits into that category. Aaron Bullock for Justin Bowen.
For the 2 trials, is the one to speak of this preparation where he was ultra professional. He done everything right with Aaron on board, and subsequently ended up finishing second to Lord Renlad. Looking at him in the mounting yard, there's nothing of him. He has a stack of furnishing to come, but that inside gate's a bit positive.
Number 2, Zocket Man on both trials, and looks a handy type. Great knock for Richard and Will Creek.
Yeah, the trials have been good, both at Warwick Farm and Canterbury, where he's one ahead of Drew Katrides. Admittedly, he was ridden along pretty strongly in the most recent, but on looks, you just want to take him home. He's a lovely, big, strong colt this colt by Zusain. I'm expecting him to be right in the finish here today.
And another one of Justin Bowen's is 3 live turns for Cody Nestor to ride.
He's only had the one race start, where it wasn't too bad, to be honest. He got back in the field there at Tamworth, and he closed off nicely in an open maiden. He sticks at the 1,000, but we're at the home track. He's had that experience, and he's meeting his own age grade here this afternoon. He's a big, strong, heavy type. He'll only improve up and through.
Now, Cosmic Eagle, number 4, diminutive type, but it's got some ability image built for Gerald and Sterling.
Unassuming in the yard. She doesn't necessarily come out and grab you, but I loved her debut effort. It was in an open $60,000 super maiden there at Newcastle in behind First Landing, which was 4 deep the trip. She closed off nicely over the 900 metres. She'd only have to repeat that performance to be winning and winning well here today.
A couple from the Admiral Archibald stable as well. And number 5, Atlantic Diva, is the first of those with Heavy Vanderhoek.
Yeah, accepted at Goulburn. They opted to stay here. She's had the 4 trials, the 2 this preparation. preparation where the two trial efforts have been much better this prep, but both indicated that she may be looking for further than this.
And the other one for Annabelle and Rob is number 8, Shady Road, with Robbie Downey right.
Yeah, I've included her in my numbers. She's been a hard-going filly in the trials. She's had the 4 of them, but the most recent, they've done everything they could to try and teach her something. She's a nice, tidy type in the yard. Whatever she does today, she'll improve on.
9, Zucchini is Sandra Gibbons, Justin Drake.
And had the 2 trials overall, was really well beaten in the first, but shown much improvement in the most recent. On debut, a nice enough type in the yard, lovely and relaxed.
Number 11 is Alar Hill, Makata Weir, Justin Bowen.
Yeah, he's up on his toes in the yard, or on her toes in the yard. She's keeping that pony pretty honest, but she was pretty moderate on debut. That was behind the stablemate, which was beaten 9 lengths. We come back to the home track, but we're drawn awkwardly. She needs to improve.
And another one for Justin Bowen, which makes 4 in the race, number 12, Norbo's Legacy, Sienna Grima.
Yeah, another one that comes through that Remboy race there at Tamworth. So she comes back to her own age and grade, but she was beaten around 11 lengths there and comes up with an outside draw. Hard to make a case for.
All right, Jill Ryan's here on track today with Cosmic Eagle. It was a really nice effort despite the wide passage there at Newcastle, Jill.
Yeah, she ran well first up. I think she had a 9, but they all raced in the bunch, and she was 3 and 4 wide all the way. But so great to rush it in the straight and went to the line good, and of course it won the race. Went to tail it, Port Macquarie and won, and then second at Rachel the other day, and it's a 4-year-old. But against 2-year-olds, won. Might be a good place to be and not.
Yeah, exactly. And you had to pick this race out today for her?
Yeah, she's been in a couple of times. When she was in Canberra and she drew off the track, really came on and scratched, and then she was in somewhere else and she drew bad, and she was in Newcastle last Tuesday and the race was called off. So I'm just trying to find a race to get a racing dog, right?
That's right. Yeah, we found one here today. It certainly looks a winnable race for an extra 100 metres. Where do you want to see her in the run?
Oh, I think she'd be in the first 3. She'd have a lead. She's got good gate speed and she's on song, and I think she'll put herself up there.
Good luck, Jill. The job right. Cosmic Eagle. Everything looks perfect for her today, I reckon, Bill.
Yeah, she looks hard to beat, doesn't she? I'm with her. You done well if you got the even money earlier in the morning. I made her my best bet on the card. 4, 2, 8 and 1. I just think her debut run was huge in a pretty good open maiden there at Newcastle. The form out of it's been very good, with first landing going on to win and then place in town over the weekend. Mitch Bell's ridden her on debut. If he sticks with her here today, she draws a beautiful gate. She brings a race experience. There's plenty to like there. If there's one that can trouble her, I do believe it's Zocket Man. He's a beautiful looking colt in the yard by Zusang, bred to handle the conditions. He's drawn awkwardly, but he should be winning a maiden pretty quickly. The 8 Shady Road, she'll improve on whatever she does today. She was a nice enough type in the yard. She looks like she's been a little bit keen in the trials, but they've done the best they could to try and teach her something there last trial. I'm expecting her to do something. And Toke, whatever he does this preparation, he'll only improve on, because I like the trial, but he has so much finishing to come. 4, 2, 8 and 1.
What do you make of Zucchini, was starting off coming there with Gerald? I thought the 9 looked pretty good too.
Yeah.
Nice cut.
Yeah, nice coat. He's a nice little, she's a nice little type. She's had the 2 trials where she was really well beaten in the last preparation, but the most recent trial, this preparation, really gave the impression she has something to offer. Obviously, she just runs into a couple of city-trained horses that look to have their fair share of ability today.
Yeah, exactly. And Gerald made a good point too, that there's been a couple of races called off recently, and maybe a bit of a dearth of 2 races if that's at this level. Obviously, a lot of opportunities for city-trained 2-year-olds this time, but happy to bring the Cosmic Eagle here to Muswellbrook today. Certainly looks exceptionally well graded. Into $1.55 now. It's going to go, hasn't it?
It doesn't surprise me whatsoever. Obviously, the form out of her debut run was great, and you see this more and more often now. City trainers happy to travel good quality horses to the country, give them a win, and let them build in confidence from that.
Yep, see the Kemper Grange all the time, but here at Muswellbrook, I guess even perhaps a slightly lesser level than that. $1.60 now for Cosmic Eagle, and just easing 5 cents. Zocket Man's done done it both ways, I suppose you could say, in the trials. He's shown speed and raced up on the pace, but also came from off the pace, showed a nice turn of foot to get in that second trial.
Yeah, I'm confident he won't take long to break the maiden. He's a beautiful type. He nearly fit the favourite Cosmic. He quite petite. She's solid enough, but she's not very big height-wise, whereas Zocket Man is a big, strong brute in the mounting yard. He was very well behaved for a colt in the mounting yard, and he's shown enough in the trial. It was just, he took a fair bit of riding in the most recent, so just wondering if it'll take a little while for the penny to drop with him.
Yep, well, he's got a good man on Great Knock aboard on Socket Man. He's got out in the betting for 340 after opening 240. It was only 40 cents between them when we were doing our preview, Bell. It's $2 and 240, and now Cosmic Eagle's $1.55. They go in different directions. Terry, you can tell me anything. Terry. From that side, going well the whole time. Certainly is. He's coming off a big win last time out. Yeah, good. That's last race, bit away from the nicest. Problem. So one, nice run there. That race great. That on this morning. So this race the type of horse that just takes the strides to really gather himself up. He does. Later on, also going to back that win. He was good first up, although he had along the start of the race. So Barry won just a bit of a first start there, got pretty slow away. Thank you very much.
What's that, mate? No worries, mate. Mighty Will. Spirit of Defence, Love and Laughs. Mighty Will, Pet Integra. Thoughts and prayers. Spirit of Defence, Almighty Will, Claim All Might, Pet Integra. Thoughts and prayers. Super Trooper. Super Trooper, Claim All Might, Pet Integra. Thoughts and prayers. Love and Laughs, Almighty Will, and Spirit of Defence. about to come in for the first quarter plan. Yeah, thanks, Terry. That was a good cross. Yeah, mate. 124 Spirited Defence. You're right. Off the map, Marta, you're on board too. TV just saying you're back to the off the map, Spirited Defence. He's not going to look up at the board. See it turn back. 50 play more mine, 950 love and laughs, $9 just the quarter play. Melody Martina. Play more mine. Come up in the line. We're ready to go. Opening at 7. Typical Ballarat weather. At its finest. 7 of the best though. This is the first and they're off. Super Trooper fell out the back in the early stages. Love and Laughs came out strongly. Looks to head on. Pentegra and Spirited Defence and Claymore Mines there as well. Then Thoughts and Prayers Almighty Will and 4 or 5 lengths away held along Super Trooper. Love and Laughs finds its favourite role. That's his on top. Claymore Mines is second. Spirited Defence third. In behind the leader. Pentegra next. Almighty Will fifth from Thoughts and Prayers and Super Trooper brings up the rear. To the side of the course and Love and Laughs by a length and a quarter. 800 metres to go on the centre. Second Claymore Mine. Third Spirited Defence. Pentegra's outside of it. Fifth over on the inside, Almighty Willer, half the Thoughts and Prayers, who's being hurled along, and last of all, Super Trooper, but at least he's tacked on now and is looking a little bit more interested about his task. Love and Laughs held together up towards the turn. He knows exactly where the favourite is, although it's about to push into the clear and bear down on him. Love and Laughs corners from Claymore Mine. Spirited Defence is into the clear and starting to reel them in. Then Pentegra. Claymore Mine went past Love and Laughs. Spirited Defence on the outsiders trying to gun Claymore Mine down. Claymore Mine's giving plenty of resistance. Claymore Mine still in front of Spirited Defence. And Claymore Mine is going strongly. All over the Weeding stable, they keep winning. Claymore Mine 2 lengths to Spirited Defence. Super Trooper came up to get third. Off either Love and Laughs or Pentegra, who are in a photo for fourth.
It's okay.
They were followed by Almighty Will and Thoughts and Prayers. Yeah, Thoughts and Prayers were those that kept taking the odds on Spirited Defence. It was Claymore Mine, number 2, Jake Duffy, McCrae Weeding. Showed a liking for the Syntho last time. And it's truly got under punter's guards. You know what I mean? $5.50 up to $9 for the way it went last time on the Syntho is not
2143.
It's not. It's
So what happened is the 4 had a bad start and the 2 and 1 worked. Now the 4 and 1. The problem with the 1 is this jockey has been handicapped in a very strange way. It's a good horse. It is not a bad horse. But when a jockey is handicapped like that, it is difficult to win. The 4 had a bad start. I generally don't play the first one. Today I played and I lost, but that's okay. This is where it was a 48 and it had a bad start, and the 2 actually went through with the advantage. And then came in the 3. The game was here. So however we want to do this, chances were 4 and 1. The 4 had a bad start. I don't know whether it was deliberate. I don't think it was deliberate, but that's what the thing is. The 1 was not in a position to win with that handicapping on that jockey. The 2 was the other one. This is a place, all right? This is a place. It can do some good stuff. We'll go to the next. Seven has been scratched. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Over with Jake Duffy, is going to come over and talk us through it. Stable's been in good form as well to the Weeding stable. Now won 3 of the last 4 Claymore mines, so excellent form of air by Rich enough to take the record forward 13 starts. Duffy's got a terrific record honour. He's been aboard for all of the wins. Favourite just looked at every opportunity, spirit of defence, and knows that Nick will be able to analyse it in the studio. Jake, well done. Too tough.
Yeah, you know, they're in form. Heavy team, ready for the dark. You know, for them room good all in the day, and once we sort of got the nice spot outside the leader and we kicked up, which we covered as well, so you know, issue would be hard to do.
What's the key to getting the best out of it? You've got a really good stage with them.
I think they just let her do a thing, like most of them, because they don't tell you what to do, so I just let her do the boss, and I just sit there and do it as well.
Conditions wise, obviously cold, there's a little bit of a breeze, it's raining. What's it like riding on this today?
That would be the coldest I've ever driven. It is so cold, that was just like ice, so I have to put it in the water myself already.
Go warm up, well done.
Thank you.
And this is the second one here at Ballarat. If you look at the odds, it's 2, 3, 4, and 5. 2 is the favorite, 3, 4, and 5. 2 is the linear, which is a 3-figure now. So this one was a benchmark 70, and the pressure was at 20, 30, 19. Here it is a 64. The pressure dropped, and it dropped to 31, 14, 0, 2, 7, and all that. So 2 is still carrying the highest pressure here. This one was carrying the highest pressure. All right. The problem here was the jockey. The problem here was the jockey. Here, this one is carrying the highest pressure, and it is one of the best jocks, right? It is one of the best jocks. So 2 is good. But here is the thing, they have all that 2, 3, 5. So they have 2, 3, 5, and 4, and all that is there. But here is the thing. We have the largest outer drift sitting here. The 3 again here. The problem is the jock. Okay. The 3 again here. The problem is the jock. Though it's one of the largest spell with one of the highest advantage, but that is bad. That thing is bad. We needed a good jock on this. So, and plus this jockey has never been here. This jockey has never been here. So 2 is good. And the next one is probably 1. I'm again going to go 1 and 2 wing. 3, we will that's a 21. This is a 20. It is also there within the rates. It's a 7-year-old gilding. The chances are 2, 1, 5. 3 probably is in trouble because the 3 is good. It's not bad. It is good. Okay. But the problem is that there's this jockey who's put under tremendous pressure. Plus, he has never played here, and this is lower. This is even lower, which is here. Both are 27. This one has more advantage within the rails. Now, talking about the 2, the dicey part of this is they are like that. They're like 50%, they're like 42%. So they're all bleeding. They are all bleeding. If I had to, I'd definitely like to be safe and step out of this, but we will play all of the races today. We'll see what's going on. So 2 is okay. That's the linear, but they have a management issue here. They also have a management issue. The only one which is probably the best is this one, the 4, which is here, but that's an 18 with one of the best jocks, comes from gate number 3. So that's the best hand. Now, if that can do anything for this is a separate thing altogether, but it definitely has to struggle for all the other horses. So the chances, I'd like to believe like this, that this thing will go through, this thing will go through too. That's the largest outer drift. That is anyway the second horse pool. The question is whether it is this guy, 3, who delivers at the third position. Maybe he will deliver the third position, maybe he will not, it will be 5. Both of them are 7-year-old geldings. The difference is this jock versus this jock. The jockey on 3 and the jockey on 5. So that's the difference. This jockey, the 3, the jockey has never played here. There's a huge amount of pressure on this. The other one is here, which is there. The 4 has a very good hand. Okay, and it is a 4-year-old mare on 1,000 meter. After this, it is this one, the lowest exposure on this horse. They're good. So probably 7, but it's very difficult to believe that this thing is going to knock out somebody who's above this. It is very difficult to believe that. I mean, I wouldn't take a chance on that. That's for sure. 2 is good. 1's good. 3 is the question whether they will deliver or not. And we will see, because this is an EW. It's a very strong horse, okay? It's a very strong horse. It's a 32. It's one of the best spells with no pressure at all. The problem is the jockey who's under a lot of pressure. So it can work either way. It can work either way, but the 2 looks good. We will go with 2 and 1.
He's done a great job, but no, to be honest with you, if you're going to cut the chase, I don't think anything here in Australia is competitive. All things being equal, it'll just depend on how well he handles travel, quarantine, all of those sort of things. Derek? Slightly, I reckon it's got your feel like that. That's far as you get to what we had before. How's the studio? On a little bit of a hiatus at the moment, TV. Yeah. Maybe break one of my rules there, TV. But process of elimination. Thank you, TV. Enjoyable back there. Exactly right, TB. Carly, thanks for your time here. Supervise, nice that it's all screwing with your stable last time.
Look, 100%. He's not really nice in that Seymour. Show you it's rowy and has a bit of a red day. But he's got back and he's got to work with the barriers. He's tried to pack them and tried very smartly. And he's coming to gain the order.
What about the synthetic first time?
I don't think it'd be a problem. He works on the synthetic and pack them all the time. He's tried on there several times and he's never had a problem. So I don't think the synthetic will be a problem these days. Obviously, it's way too hard to go.
The work that you've done with the horse, did you get work on?
He certainly is a typical Russian Revolution. He's a good worker. I think he just went to the other day. Sunday to go over the process again, and he hasn't made a problem since, but I think so, yeah. I think it's also having someone behind you who's walking in. He'll go on the gate to the rider, but having that staying trainer, having that person behind him just to go, we've got to go with that.
Gets the start right here, so well the behaviour, all of those sort of things. Solid ability, catch on the pain.
Extremely confident today, yeah, 100%, especially with the race. A really nice horse, had a really nice race last start. A bit short for him. It's today's the 1200 a lot better. Coming here today, I think he'll take the seat and just be stressing it. Yeah, she's got a nice race today. And she'll be coming today.
See that just remember nominated for both Melbourne and also Adelaide this weekend.
Yeah, look, he's at the state. He's on the yeah, he ran a super race at Caulfield, and he's come through that good order, and so I think he'll be Saturday at Caulfield.
And yourself, like, since you've been active, but you've been standing off there before you've got a nice property a little away from Canada.
Yeah, so we've got a property at Cunnings Creek there, 50 acres, got our own track where we can go with the horses, take a water walker, pool, so we've got all the facilities there. Boxes there, but plenty of paddocks and it's great facility for all sorts of things.
Like so many trainers, you also get some pre-training as well.
Yeah, 100%. Do pre-training there, so Australia, Gary Clark and amongst the others there, and plenty of breaking as well. Thank you.
Spin off. Showing space.
জল রাস্তার জল ভর্তি হচ্ছে পেন্সিল গাড়ি ভর্তি করে কখন ভর্তি করবো
Dows, welcome back. 3 and 5.
Smarto, your interesting race. Supervise the favourite, $2.10.
Both are good, Dows. Both are good.
Showing special is very fast. It's $15. Sagacity should have the good drop on that pair. Mr. Woodcraft. Clutch 210 supervise. Showing his best shot. It's very fast. $16 the grade. Sagacity's drawn to get sit on them. $4.20. $6 monsoon rains. Almost ready. Rose Sagacity to complete the line for the McGrath Ballarat handicap. Field of 7. Supervised drawn the inside gate. No problems with the gates just now. They're all in light blinks. They're off. Supervised 12 at the start. Show his best shot. Beat them out clearly. Sagacity comes across with it and Supervised being ridden along, but will have to sit to third. They're followed next in the race then by Spin-Off. Monsoon Rains is fifth out, 3 deep, 2 lengths to Froze and Legendary Diva was the last one. Show his best shot, the grey. He's in front, but for Sagacity on the outside and Supervised quickly into the clear. Has gone up to tackle the pair out 3 wide, not risking any pockets, and it's travelling 2 on their outside. Next was Monsoon Rains, then Spin-Off, followed by Froze and Legendary Diva. Supervised went straight past it for Sagacity and Show his best shot. Into the clear then was Monsoon Rains on the outside of Spin-Off and Froze at the 200 metres. Supervised is 2 lengths in
That
front.
one just did not
Froze
work.
running a big race, and then followed by Spin-Off and Monsoon Rains. Supervised in front.
2 and
He
6.
Froze is eating up the ground. Froze over the top, beat Supervised. 2.5 away third goes to Spin-Off. Fourth in either Monsoon Rains or Sagacity, followed by Legendary Diva and Show his best shot.
6 and 2.
The Grand Ballarat handicap was interesting. Froze $31. He travelled through the synthetic in the whole run pretty well. He's run 1,000 out here, made his debut. I was going to say it's debut. It has 1, 2 on the synthetic out of 6. Its last time synthetic run. It doesn't read too good, does it? 7 lengths behind Rewards and more, but today, this mare by Frosted would have exceeded Excel there. For the Barry and Wilson and Gavin families, and also Miss G. McPherson, Jamie Barry at Terang and Amy Herman. Gets up to beat the favourite, 2 Supervised. The run's been full of merit. Missed the kick slightly, got hit it off. Got to the outside, put the leaders away. It's gunned down late. 3-year-old Chestnut gelding by Russian Revolution. Sheridan Clark for Carly Thomas. 8 runs, third Spin-Off. Cian McRedmond for Shea Keating at Ballarat. The interim numbers here are 6, 2, 8 in 5. 6, 2, 8 in 5. Time was 100.66.
6 to 8 and 5.
$31. The polish.
The one failed. I don't know why that one failed, because this looks a little weird, but the 2 also failed here and the 6 went through. So they generally don't deliver. 27, 5. This was in a better condition. Four was difficult to believe. That was 18. But how did that 8 come in? 6 to 8. something doesn't match. Anyway, we'll go to the next. 1 to 5 scratched. 6, 9, 4, and 3. Right, this is the third one here. It's a maiden, 1100 meter. If you look through the odds, it's 6, 9, 4, and 3. If we look through the rails, then it is 6, 3, 4. Then the 7 is here. Then it is 9 here, which is a 6 and 7. This one is an 11. The top spells are here, 6, 3, 4. 4 has 3 races. It did not do anything in last 3 races. Okay. That's a little weird. This is, God knows what it is. So it's very difficult to believe that this will do anything, but it has one of the highest advantages. The jockey has never raced here. It is the same condition as this one, where this guy, the jockey has never raced on 4. Probably. That's the guy. Well, 6 and 3, these are the two with some actual numbers. This is 26 running with no pressure at all. Then there are advantages which are working. So highest advantage is 4, which is also this. But this is the best hand. They are the drift. That's a 26, no pressure. One of the best jocks on this. There's no pressure on this jock. Nothing played very weird anyway. But here we have a return. This is okay, no pressure. Best hand. 6. Tuna, welcome back, Tuna.
very much for that. Why do always pleasure catching up? Okay, so great. So, is that the correct pronunciation? It is, mate. It's case I had it. Figure it out during the run. But really nice doing it. I want to make students for really good bonus. Took her to Bendigo where she didn't look not run well, but she did wide. So put a line through that pace case anyway. She developed still got a bit of a way to go, but she'll run well. I think so. She's a free flowing top of the trials. Done well, but it's done pretty well. She's still a couple way moves, reckon. She's still got a bit of got a go. So how far we don't know. Not a strong mate, so we'd like to run one or 5-9 for that matter, go. She has got a really good pedigree. Arrowfield really like her in the way that the order of the sale. We've also got another advisor. She likes to shows what it's going to do as well. So it's still relatively unknown with sire. So it's still learning about it, but hopefully for that, yeah, he's been just been like the last 2 runs, but with the most hard. He's got stuff class, but he's done well. Pretty big to be prepped, I'm not sure how he's got that. Yeah, I'm honest. Yeah.
I think it's the same. I think it's the same as what it was before the start of the meeting, Terry. Yes, headwind in the home straight, Terry. Wind in the home straight flags are blowing directly up the home straight. Run on top. Wide them up and bump out wide with a good start. It's case I out fast though, holding and try everything. hard to head off the one on the inside, which is Peter Show. It's kicking up towards the 2 metres right there. The centre is close to the end four, and 2 or 3 lengths in front now. Rather than drop back, and watching over us was the last one. So settling down this cut, side still putting the pressure on. Big Jones up behind them. Choice in 2 metres coming round since the start. Travels up onto the flanks though of the Grandstand side. Now watching over us and getting everything outside the young ground hand front. This Big Jones round on the fence. This cut side corners in front, but Choice in 2 metres. It's within striking distance and goes up on the outside to take the narrow lead from Miss Kate side. Centre's trying to come through on the far side. Then handcrafted. Choice in 2 lane just in front. Miss Kate side's getting off the deck. Centre the inside. John Hannah's had to pull the whip on Choice in 2 lane and drive it to the line to win by maybe a nose over centre. There's nothing in it. Miss Kate side third. I think handcrafted fourth, but watching over us just with it. And Pete Show dropped down to run last. I don't call it betting, so it's one of the numbers to get with it, to be honest with you. It's the 6 will get it. It's giving us a sneak peek. 6 toys in 2 lane.
6 for 9 and what?
Segment tour business. Red by this is Pierce. It's the horse with plenty of others. So just got there from Sydney, awful close. Just took a bang. A little on it, towards some real light, through the roll back, to the Navy, it's run. So, running, it's probably a bit of time. So it's gone out 3/4 of the time. On. And it's going to be six numbers.
So what happened is this: the 6 was okay to go. Then came the 4, which could have been a linear. Which could have been a linear if this was there. The problem with this horse was this jockey has never raced here. And 3 had 14 races. It did not do much. It did not do much. And 9, definitely because of the jockey. 9, definitely because of the jockey. This guy was a donkey. The guy on the 7 was a donkey. One and 2 has been scratched. 4839. Right, this is the fourth one here, and if we look through the odds, it's 4, 8, 3, and 9. That 4 is the favorite, which is an EW. They have a very strong hand that is there. They have a very strong hand. Now, if we look through the rails, we get 4, 6, 8, 6, 4, and 7. Okay. The 9 is not there. The 3 is the largest outer, which is here. But they're actually very bad spells. But here, this, you know, they're getting in because of the jockeys. So here if we see, the 3 has some stuff going on with the jockey, but that's very lame. That's the largest outer, so that's probably that. Now the one in question here is 6, okay? So why 6 is because if you look at the result, what happened here is 6, 4. So this 4 would have been the linear if this was handicapped. This race was not handicapped. Even this one is not handicapped. There is a little bit of, you know, stuff going on with 8, which is very negligible, but it is a neutral. There is no handicapping on that. So the 4 would have made the neutral. I'm sorry, the linear. And the 6 was the outer drift. That worked. And the 9 came in third. The 9 was here. The jockey pushed it, and pushed it very hard. So that came in third. Okay. Here we did not have anything as such that we can define as a third horse pool. But here the second and this thing was there. Here it is the same situation. It is the same situation. Here this one is set. If this was set as a neutral, then, you know, it'll be the same condition. That's a 196 to the body balance and was on 0 pressure. Here it is a maiden, 2-year-old maiden, and the pressure is about 15% on this, which is the highest. 15%. 2 races. We have some speed on this, and that's how it is. It's got 15% on this. One of the best hands. That's the only one probably which is there. Now, with some numbers, the actual stuff that might so the 4 is the EW. All right, they have a good hand. It is there, but it's a 24. We have a 25 with one of the best jocks here on 7. All right, that's a 24. This is a 25. This is a 25. The 9 is a 25. And then we are falling down. The 24 is here, which is the favorite. This, I don't know, it's been some time that we have raced on that particular track where this was the exact situation. And if this was the favorite, if 6 was the favorite, I can understand why 6 is the favorite. But if 4 is the favorite, then it becomes a little difficult for anybody to understand why 4 would be difficult. The advantage, if we look, is highest on 6. That would have made the linear. This thing is good. The 6 is good. Okay. The 8 has about 15% on this. Now, what is the problem with the 8 is it's a 1200 meter and it has a jockey which is under pressure. It has a jockey which is under pressure. It's a good one, should work, the 8. It's got the rails. But what is scary is what happened here on the second one. So the 6 went through. And if we look at why the 6 went through is because on a benchmark 64, they could not carry 14% on this and 31% on this. They could not carry. So no matter what the numbers on the horses, the quality is bad. The quality is definitely bad. Otherwise, this wouldn't have been the situation. I mean, why would this horse, which has had 3 races with one of the best jockeys, fail? I understand it was getting tailed. Okay, fair enough. Why would one fail? A 29 did not carry 14%. A 32 did not carry 0% on it. I understand this one was a bad jock. This jock never raced here. That also is okay, fair. But what happened here is bad. That means the quality is not right here today. So if on a benchmark 64, a 29 failed with a 14%, this 8 is a 27, this one was a 29, this 8 is a 27 with 15%. I don't know what it'll do. Though we have, I mean, it is running neutral. Though it is running neutral, still there's a pressure, which is negligible, about 15%. The one in question is 6. The 6 is not there within the odds. I'm going to play a EW on 6. 4 is the favorite. This is something that should be there, but what is scary is this fact that it could not, a 29 could not carry a 14%. So if that's the quality of horses that we have today here, then either we step out or we do things that are a little more in favor of us. Eight is the only one we have numbers. It's in a very good hand. It's running neutral. Is the first one through the rails. Has all the advantage in the world. This is how the 6 went through. Correct? Is the same situation. But here this 6 was 0 pressure. The moment they put here it was a benchmark 70. The 4 had a bad start. Accepted. A benchmark 64 cannot carry the 14%. That is not accepted. That means you do not have horses. You're just trying to churn the old horses and making it look new. That's what you're doing. So I'm going to go an EW on 6. There's nothing else that I can probably look into. That's the highest advantage. This is the highest pressure. And then there are spells which are there. So this one is definitely there because of their hand and whatever they have. But that 6 is not there within the odds. All right. The 6 is not there. 4, 8, 3, and 9. 4, 8, 3, and 9. And that 6 is the 1. The 4 went through, correct? With 26, that was the highest advantage here on this horse. Though the jockey was tricky, but it just went through second position. Here it worked because it was zero pressure on this, one of the highest spell. Here the highest spell is 27, but with 15% pressure. My worry is it on a benchmark 64, they could not carry 14%. So will they be able to carry a 15% on a 1200 meter maiden? I don't know. So I'm going to, that 8 is the 8 is there. I mean, if this was any other ground, that 8 is one to follow. But here, this could be tricky. I'm going to go with 6. If the 6 doesn't get tailed. It is getting tailed.
Volcano in this race. Pretty rough on debut. Look, he's a nice horse. He's taken a little while to get in the race.
Sweet but sassy.
He wasn't really good in it, so we let him go. We gave him a nice ride. He's had a couple of strong trials, which was really nice. And he presents him pretty well. He set the time up with 100.
Sweet but sassy.
Look, getting in the yard. Got plenty of energy about him. Yeah, he does. Look, he's a very nice horse. We'll go for it. Obviously, been like 2 dark hot. It's taken a little while to come down, but he's still working with all that as we go along. But as I said, he'll improve out of what he does today, but that's how he started. So, feel like certainly I know you say he's going to improve. He has that 3 jump out, so from the looks of things, he's done as much at home as he could. Yeah, definitely. He's just got a same sort of quality trainer. He's whole version condition. So I think his runs quite good, and then he can get a pretty fast. So it's got no training. These horses with my race for plenty of people for the race. What's it been like to be training for them? Yeah, super. No, look, they do a great job being involved in their whole team. And it's great. Introduced a lot of people in races, and every time they're running, no matter where it is, it's always been so nice. It's great to go. As your horse here is concerned, you make them up on speed. Yeah, he's been first Saturday. Ask how to get that gates. Going forward here on this track, it's not a bad place to go. Right?
There's of soul, frosted
Here about around. Been travelling around the world. Very quick trip over to Hong Kong and then up to London or Newmarket for a week. So I was there and back in 10 days, and last night I had a lot of sleep. What time on Saturday? I was having breakfast in Newmarket at about 6:45, and I gave them a proper looks like a pretty promising horse. Yeah, really promising horse. It's living up to the expectation and the price tag. Very excited. There's actually a couple of this horse that are also in so hopefully they're like good.
Frosted Gold. Moving in. Black Casted Soul. Same colours as Frosted Gold there. It's got the orange cap. It comes in the line. Sweet but Sassy is about to get set, and the last two in will be Costa Lotta, Princess of Soul, and Volcano's out as well. It's $1.80 for Volcano on the VOP now. $4 sucker for you, $6 per rack. 10 Costa Lotta. It's Volcano coming up towards the line. Volcano goes in, so does Princess of Soul on their set. Or the Manhari Maiden. Ready? Racing. Costola bounced okay, so did Volcano. Parak out with them, and on the outside, trying to work across there is Sweet but Sassy. Sucker Fuse over against the rails. And the stable mates are 3 lengths away, and they are Frosted Gold with the orange cap and Princess of Soul outside it with the black cap. Favourite finds the top, Volcano, comfortably enough from Parak running second. Sweet but Sassy to third, 3 out. Sucker for You follows the leader. Costa Lotta 1 off the fence, and Princess of Soul takes off. And then Frosted Gold 2 lengths away, hurled along. Volcano held together in the lead from Parak, and on the outside, Sweet but Sassy. Sucker for You's come off the bit behind them, and so too is Costa Lotta. Then Princess of Soul and Frosted Gold at the end. Volcano releases the shuttles at the top of the straight, and bolted away from Parak. Sweet but Sassy. Costa Lotta's got to the outside. Sucker for You's boxing on. Volcano has a look under the arm, Harry, at the 200-metre mark. It's in no danger of defeat. Sucker for You runs to second again, and then followed by Costa Lotta zooming home, but it's all Volcano. Volcano, yeah, the Maya Racehorse team are up all right. Volcano won by 4. So do punters. They've got another one favourite in. Costa Lotta ran second. Sucker for You ran third. Fourth is close between Sweet but Sassy and Parak. Then Princess of Soul and Frosted Gold was absolute. Home goes Volcano. Harry Coffey for my racehorse and the McAvoys. Number 4. Got to the front. That was really the last they saw of him. Costa Lotta number 5 run pretty well. Will Price for Archie Alexander, the 2-year-old filly by Prince of Caviar. Sucker for You number 8. Didn't look like he was appreciating the kickback before the turn, but once the winner nicked off, she decided it wasn't too bad. She's come through near the rails to find out second. She's by Handicappers. Succotash, Lindsay Smith, Lockie King. Standing by for the numbers, here they are, 4, 5, 8 and 9. From the judge, the interim numbers of 4, 5, 8 and 9, 5th in went 3, which was Parak.
4, 5, 8 and 9. So what happened is 4 went through, 6 did not work, 5, then came the 8 and 9. We'll go to the next. 7 has been scratched. Two, 1, 3, and 6. Okay, this is what the number 5 looks like. It's back to us benchmark 64. That too is the favorite. Okay, it's one of the drifts. It's one of the drifts. And if we look through the rails, it is exactly like that. 1, 4, 5, 3, 8, and 6, and 2 is the last. That's a 37. There's a 34. Then there are 33s and 29. And then this is the last, 28. And this is the favorite. If we look at now, the thing is, if we refer to this one, what happened here is a 49, 14, 31, this thing. The 31 came in second. The 31 came in second, but the 6 went through. Okay. That was a 27, and the 5 also got there. 6, 8, 5, and 6, 2, 5, or something. We'll check what happens. 6, 2, 8, 5. 6, 2, 8, and then 5. 8 was the lowest, and 6 was here. On a 27, that was the lowest. Okay. Here we have a 31, here on a 37, 40, on a 29. I don't know what will happen to this, but that's what the thing is. And then there are these other horses which are 33, and all that is happening. So what are we expecting out of this is a 28. This is the last one. So if this one is on 40 and we expect this to lose, because this is not even the favorite, it's here. It was the third, right? Now, this is 2960, this is 37, and here we have a 37. So this probably a third horse pool. At 31, this probably the third. So who wins? Now the question is who wins? in that case, if this is 28 and 22, with a jockey on pressure, so here what happened is that 4 went through with one of the best jockeys with one of the largest advantage on handicapping side. And here we have the same scene with one of the best jockeys with, that's the largest, 6. But that's also one of the worst horses. The worst actually is 2, which is here. The worst is basically 2. And this time it doesn't even have a good jockey. The only thing that is there is the fact that it has been here. It has been to this ground. That's the only advantage. So in that case, I'll go with 6. This probably is the 3rd. This is a 29 at 40%. So that's a little weird to believe. It's 29, that's the largest. Here, 6, 2. 6, 2, I think. 6 and 2. $33 1, but that's an 8-year-old. This is 33 8. That jockey is on pressure. Six has the physics. It doesn't need the physics, but it has the physics. This is a 34 minus 3, 37 to 10, 10, 10. Here we have that. The best thing is to avoid this one. I'm just thinking loudly because this one did not work. It was a benchmark 64,000 meter. Here, that pressure did not work. This is a benchmark 64 1200 meter. And ideally, this is the second linear within the rails. This should win. This is here. That thing is here. It is the linear, which is, I understand, has lesser advantage. That is how it should play. But no, that is not what is happening here today. What is happening is they are not able to carry those pressure. They're not able to deliver those pressure. So that makes it a very tricky journey. Both of these are 33. Here it is 8 on this guy who is here. It's a good horse. There is no doubt the 4 should be there. But that's 8. Now the 2 is the favorite for some joy, which is the 28. It is the worst of its kind. And I mean, there's no difference between this 3 and this 2. So 6 EW. On the second thought, I think it's best to step out of this one. This, because I don't.
Tom, thanks for your time. The narrow door, had a few runs now with your feet fitness. Yes, it's very big. She found herself in a race where she got a pretty good run. She got a bit of a tough run last start, sort of out of the way before. So hopefully she gets a chance. What about the first time? It's always a little bit of a query, but hopefully she's a more absolute.
That 5 is an 8-year-old.
Got a jockey for good jockey overall, but particularly people jump on the speed. Absolutely. And she's got lots of fun thoroughbreds and she's done her dog before, so she knows the horse. Yeah. Not associated. You've got to do the front thoroughbreds. We've got the cross here today, so Joe's here, so I thought I'd give you the opportunity just to batter him up here, Tom. Yeah, well, hopefully she performed well. What about Lady Dexter? She didn't run very well at her last start, but at 2 starts prior to that, she ran reasonably well. And she didn't like the heavy track last start, so hopefully getting back on the synthetic. She runs a better race.
Red Sparks.
Got better buckley. Thanks, Ed.
Breaks and Brando, Red Sparks. Flux, Cash Converter, and Ponegate.
One, two, three, 6. I'm going to be out of this one. This is the second benchmark 64 that we're going to be that is here today, and we'll see if this thing can take the pressure.
Let's find out. 280 Cash Converter, 330 Nordic, 6 for Potagoni, 850 for Flux, and 6 for La Naradora. High gain, Winner's Choice Handicap. Dark here already, we're going to know how to go. There's the favourite coming up, Cash Converter. Winner's betting race though. Flux is coming in. Expect in the market. Potagoni coming in now. Race and Brando. Wheel is set. Ready? And racing. Nordic away awkwardly on the inside, quickly headed off by Red Sparks, who's about to get headed off by Flux, and La Naradora's travelling comfortably up on the speed, heading it off. Breaks and Brando coming across from the deep to second. Flux third, Potagoni fourth, Red Sparks fifth, the rails, then the favourite Cash Converter, and two next to the other fancy, which is Nordic. They're spotting up these leaders a bit as they come off the back straight at the 800 metres. La Naradora led by a half length on Brazen Brando. Third, the inside is Flux. Potagoni in a striking position, tracked by Cash Converter, is about to tug its way up on the outside. Nordic's going to follow it everywhere. Red Sparks going for lucky runs. They're coming up towards the turn, 400 metres to go. La Naradora put under pressure down on the inside, but responding a bit. Potagoni with fresh legs out to the middle. So too Cash Converter and Nordic. La Naradora's got a kick. Potagoni and Cash Converter letting out down the middle. Nordic can't catch it. Potagoni in the middle went to the lead. Cash Converter wanted to get on one rein at the critical stage. La Naradora fights back, but driving to the lead, Potagoni, and Potagoni's going to get the pot of gold. Potagoni by half length to, I think, La Naradora maybe. She found plenty. And maybe a nose in front of Cash Converter. Flux is driven up on the inside to try and get fourth ahead of Red Sparks, Nordic, and Brazen Brando was absolute. It was a good contest betting-wise, and it proved a good contest in the race. And Will Gordon has given Potagoni a beautiful run, 1-1. Came out early to get around Brazen Brando and has held off the cavalry. 3-year-old Bay
3614
from Cornflower Blue, Price Bloodstock, Ben Will and JD Hayes, and they have a lot of success.
I stayed out of this one. So what happened is the 3 was the linear, okay? The 3 was the linear. It was 29. That was the linear. It went through 3614. That's okay. 36 was this one. This was a 33 with the highest advantage, 36. And then came the 1. The 1 was actually the third horse pool. 6-1. So this is why I stayed out. I wanted to check if this one plays the pressure. In that case, here we have a benchmark 58. We will see how that works. But this one played okay. This is okay. This is understandable. Good horse wins. Good horse wins. This one was an 8-year-old, so there's no chance. The other one, which was here, 50, 58, 4, 25, 50, 40, 31, 25, 60, 63. So this 33 had more advantage than this 33. This 33 was an 8-year-old, so that was not possible. Whether it was there within the rails or not, the age will kick in. This 33 had the highest advantage with one of the best jockeys. The 2 was the worst one. And the 3 was the linear that went through. 6 came in, which is a 33 with the advantage. 1 and then 4. This played okay. Eight and 11 has been scratched from the next one. 7, 2, 3, 6.
Probably my doing, but today we had a lovely economical run. and we're able to build our rags and taught them what certainly did. He looks like he's got that test before. It was there to be. Yeah, exactly. He's tough. He actually fought them off when he felt them. He sort of put them to bed and had a bit of battle on the line, just waiting for them. But when they did come to him, he stuck his head back and full for him.
These colours suit you. You're building a really nice relationship with Tribe Club, son.
Yeah, like it's been a massive, probably one of the biggest supporters of mine, and very thankful for all the opportunities. Probably a dinner or two when he's back over us.
Well, that off-season is coming up, so you're right when it's at the right time. Terry Bailey made a point of a few days just before saying he feels like you're looking more polished as a rider these days. Do you feel like you're improving as time goes on?
Yeah, for sure. Like when I come to Australia, I never ridden on the flat, so it was all a big learning curve for me. I've been here for a number of years now, and the racing game, you're always learning.
This is the sixth one here. It is a benchmark nothing. It's a maiden race, and it's a 1500 meter. If you look through the odds, it's 7, 2, 3, and 6. Now that 7 is the favorite. If we look through the rails, we get them exactly like 3, 7, 6, and 2. Now, they're all within the box. Okay, they're all within the box. So the 7 is the right favorite. It is a 353. It's a 353 with a 57% pressure on this. Now, so if we look at what happened from the very beginning, this one I understand happened that here the pressure did not work and this thing went out of windows. The 6 won. It was a benchmark 64. This one was in 1100 meter. The 6 actually won here with one of the highest spell. The 4 here, the fourth one, was a maiden, and the 4 won, which was 24, accepted because of the jockey. That was the advantage. The 5 played fair. The 5 played fair. This one is okay. This is where the spells have started working. Now we have a maiden. So I'm assuming they have good horses in this one. This is just an assumption. It's a 353. There is no reason to doubt this. There's no reason to doubt this. Okay. $23. This one is 5 races, did nothing. This one has 15 races, did nothing. This one has 10 races, did nothing. All of them have the highest handicapping advantages. The other one, which is here, is this 4, which is 13 races, did nothing. So that is all out, okay? So the game is here. The game is here. So if the game is here, then this guy is again handicapped weirdly, so he's not in a position to win. 7 is the favorite, which is a 353. And here is the jockey pressure. So this is the lowest jockey pressure with one of the highest spell, which has the rail. And then this one is here, which is a 48 on here. And it's a 17. This one is a 16, which has one of the best jockeys. However, the advantage is more on the 17 with that, okay? The highest advantage is probably here on the 1. here, which is a 590, but that's at 13 and it has 5 races. It did not do anything. So 7 is good. 736 probably. What do we have? 723. 2 is the one that they have. Now, what is the difference between 6 and 2 is the management. These people, they don't deliver much. That is a problem. And this one, the jockey has been handicapped in such a way that this thing becomes questionable. So we'll stay out of these two. Here we have two of the largest spell. One is here, the other one is the EW. So 7 and 3, Queen. Probably. This is a 17. This is a 16 with one of the best jocks, which is there. Okay. But this is the same replica of this one where this was the favorite and this is how the jockey was handicapped on the first one. So that probably is not a great idea. We'll stick to these two, 3 and 7. Let's see. It's probably 736, but getting into 6 is a little dicey because they kind of are, they don't deliver much, that's all. I'm going to be back from the washroom in a jiffy.
Terry, Nick, thank you very much for that. Rob, always a pleasure catching up. Grundy 3 votes taking on the hot favourite here. What are your expectations? Yeah, well, firstly, it's quite here on second, that toilet right there. So Grundy's comments, right, very cold day. Yeah, look, the comments, something over the line, the most figures. That's all top. So, happy to get away with it. That was 12. Should have improved that at 6 week break. Branding. Yeah, well, we can go down with the full time. They've got to keep winning, getting the ball.
Boss man, Lady Dexterous.
Actually, on occasion, I have to.
Dancing shout, Lady Dexterous. Boss man, spot the grab.
Yes, it was. I hope you can. Yes,
Spot the grab.
stepped up to the outside, but it's had it on top. Right. Spring it through the goal. We get across and all the leaders, that's all three. Hold. Very much so. Now for the hour. They will go up on the full top.
Running 3 votes. Lady Dexterous, running 3 votes. Lady Dexterous, running 3 votes. Lady Dexterous, dancing shout.
You'll jump in, soft jump in, run through fast, much of
Saying,
one of good thing in there. Let's get it forward, what's it? Good idea.
Sagia, 23 votes. Good idea, Marto. They're about to come up here for the penultimate. Sports bet, more places made than play. 175 the boss man, he looks awfully hard to beat. 550 running 3 votes, 650 spot the grey. 8 finishing. It's hard to take a $1.75 minute thing. It's the best of the day. Finishing goes in, and the last one up will be Touch Me Toes. Sheridan Clark. Boss man favourite. Sports bet, more places made. Finds itself in the quaddy because about a foot field. They're off and running. Spot the Grey was a little slow to go on the inside. Reward the Crown came out well, and there's plenty of intent being shown here on the favourite, the Boss Man. Grundy, 3 votes, goes through along the inside, and Dance and Shout's going to make a line of 3. Then followed right behind them by Lady Dexterous, who's got herself into 4th placing on the outside of Presagio, and also Reward the Crown. Then followed by Finish and Touch Me Toes and Spot the Grey. You'll spot it. That's it at the back end of the field. The Boss Man had to work a bit, but he gets over in front of Dance and Shout, and Lady Dexterous now left without cover 3 out. Grundy 3 boats is behind the leader. Followed driving up in the middle by Preciago, and going forward was Touch Me Toes on the outside of Finishing. Spot the Grey's going to follow them up and reward the Crowns, but now been relegated to the rear. The Boss Man was going for a mid-race breather, but he ain't getting one. Dance and Shout on terms, and going up Finishing 3 out and 4 deep was Touch Me Toes. They're followed next in the field then by Grundy 3 boats as Lady Dexterous dropped off and was passed by Spot the Grey, Preciago, and then Reward the Crown. Favourites under siege on the home turn, the Boss Man, and Grundy 3 boats is jogging behind him and getting the run. The Boss Man has to find Grundy 3 boats on the outside's the challenger. They've beaten off Dance and Shout for Ignition and Spot the Grey the outside. Grundy 3 boats has had a better run than the Boss Man, and he goes to him now. And at the
Can you
100 metre mark, he
believe
puts him
that?
away. Good. Spot the Grey runs into a place, but it is Grundy 3 boats that gets the money. Grundy 3 boats by 2 lengths. Spot the Grey second. Third goes to the Boss Man, and fourth placing went to Dance and Shout. Then followed next in the field by Presagio, and with it in the race was Finishing, followed by Reward the Crown, and Touch Me Toes was at the end, and Lady Dexterous was actually ahead of all of those. Grundy 3 boats was Ryan Hurdle 3 boats really. Softened the favourite up. Took a trail on it. Couple of roughies finished the favourite off, and he just sailed on by. 5-year-old Bay Gilding by Rebel Raver from Rusty Bugles. That's 2 winners today for the connections, because they raced Toys in Siouxland, which won earlier on with the Hayes. They raced this fellow with Robert, one rider of Ballarat, Ryan Hurdle Road, and rode very well in 2 wins. Spot the Grey was a good little effort down the outside for Ian Walsh and Anthony Cosgrove, a 3-year-old grey and chestnut by Sonsdaloon, went second here the other day. It's going to win one of these soon. And the Boss Man, Lindsay Smith, Brett Kersley, has to be content with third. 2, 6, 7 and 1 of the judges in the numbers here. 2, 6, 7 and 1. 50 win.
The 2 went through. It was 16, 17. Could not take that pressure. Could not take that pressure. Bad. The last one today here. 4, 7, 10. 4, 7, 10. 16, 17, 18. Two, 3, 5, 8. So this is the last one here. It is a 1500 meter benchmark 58. So the class dropped. This was a 64, and here it is a 58. Now that 2 is the favorite. The 2 is the neutral, but it is carrying pressure. It's running neutral, but it is at 16%. Then this one is at 25%. This one is at 3%. Then there is a 25 here, which is the 15, which is at 11%. That's what we have. Okay. The 2 and the 5 has the best jockey, probably. But then again, that's that. If we look through the race, we get the 6, these two, 11 and 12, right? Let's say, for argument's sake, they're both 29s. Then these are 26, but this is probably not right here, because the result is not according to what we generally do. That's not happening, because somehow they are on a trip. So I mean, it's a 29 at 0, but it's a 6-year-old mare. Then this one is another 29, which is an EW, but they're like that. So cannot go with, I mean, it's not making sense anyways. They are threats. Both of them are threats. If they get on with it, I mean, if this was actually the race, then you can't stop these two horses. Both are 29, probably 12 will win and 11 will get in there, and 2 or 8, both are 26. This is the linear, that's that, but 2 probably is the place. That's how this would have played. But here the 2 is the favorite, which is a neutral. This one is a 6-year-old mare. This is a 4-year-old mare. This is the EW. They are suffering and bleeding. That's 29. That's also 29. This is a 26. This is a 26. This is a 25. And then there is a 25 here at one of the largest advantage given here. The 15 would be another one. I mean, this 12 has tremendous amount of advantage, but these people are like that. The 2 is the favorite, okay? Now let's understand what the 2 is dealing with. Both are 26. This is at 16, this is at 25. Is it 2-8? 2-3. 3. Is it 25? How will that work? The 12 is there. I don't know about the 11. This 11 should be there. The way it is playing is something beyond my control. But this is Ballarat. This is what they do. The 12, I mean, even if I give a concession to that 6-year-old mare that it will lose, it will not be able to keep up. It has 24 races. It's not going to be a great idea. But still the 12 is there. And if that 12 runs, then there's no question the 2 will probably get there as a place. This is generally the second or the third place. That's how the thing is. And here, the larger it is, it is bad if it is a larger number. It has to be a smaller number like this 2 or the 5. This one is another. The 4-year-old mare, which is at 73, 16, 17, 16. That's a 26. This is a 24. This is the second linear. It doesn't have the physics. Winning is difficult. This one is also like that. It is a 4-figure. This one is there. 2 is running neutral. 26, 29, This is 0, but it's a 6-year-old mare. There are also tailing gates. Twelve VW. That 12 is there, even if I ignore that 6-year-old mare, even then the 12 is very much there. I mean, that's weird. Why wouldn't it be there? But it's not making any sense here. Should have skipped this track today. Should have skipped this track. The 11 or the 12?
Good dog. Dismount. On vitality. Seven moon. Flower moon. Seven moon. Flower moon. Good dog. Nuts and bolts.
Very much for that, Nick. Looking forward to this race. Looking
Nuts
forward
and
to
bolts.
seeing Queen Vera go. Carl, thanks for your time. This may be a terrific form of that.
Yeah, she's been super actually. She's been up a long, long time, but she keeps going from strength to strength. So yeah, keep going.
Got a bit of a fresh up to last
I'm
one.
gonna
Yeah, she has
probably
probably just we've had her in a few places in the grandstand against us. So we just, well, we've been waiting for better ground, and now we're going back to the station.
You look at her form, it's in one place before going on. Is that a concern? Today on
I think it's always a question mark. She ran her first ever start for us. She virtually won. She went really close, just flew home. So it's just whether she gets some clear running and not too much kickback. She hasn't had to run in the race.
look at the quality of the field that she's taking on, the fact that she's got that claim for bow.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, she's borderline metro class, but it's, she deserves to have a go.
So why I'm going with the coffee on 11 is because of the fact that these people are very bad. They're bleeding. This one has the rails. One of the best jockeys there. The management is acceptable. So even if it is a 6-year-old mare, I still think that's 29-0. That's a coffee, by the way. This is not working here anyways.
That could be a kiss of death, Jerry. No, I think the market's got it right here. It's a pretty even race, isn't it? There's sort of 4 or 5 chances to finish. Too surprised in this last race. Nuts and bolts is the one, but it's just a terrible gate, isn't it, out there? But sometimes it can work out all right. Again, winner's choice handicap. They're moving in. It's Ballarat have the culmination of the jump season. That'll be. It's about to say that'll be the next time I'll be here. I think I might have to go in between. Middle of August, of course, Grand National Day. Now they're ready to go. Last event, Nuts and Bolts has gone to the outside. They're off now. Seven Moon jumped pretty well. So also did Flower Moon. Dismount Runganoo right there. The Doc trying to come across. Life Sentence booting up in the middle. Then Typhoon Tony, he's 3 deep with cover on the outside of Secryption and Queen Bearer. Followed next in the race by Nuts and Bolts, Wild Vitality. They seem to be getting along. A Noble Legend is now last of all. Winning the battle for the lead is Seven Moon. Keeps out Flower Moon, and the 2 Moons have it at the 1,000 metre mark. Ronganur sits off them now third. Life Sentence fourth, and then dismount the inside from Badoc. Queen Bearer midfield on the fence, followed by Typhoon Tony Secryption. One further back to Nuts and Bolts, a long way off the lead. Two further back to Noble Legend, improving now on the outside of Wild Vitality. Coming down the side, Summer Moon from Flower Moon. Runganers in third, Life Sentence fourth is asked to go again. Then dismount, followed further back to Typhoon Tony and also Badoc. Nuts and Bolts starting to creep to the outside, followed by Secryption. Queen Bearers awkwardly placed on the fence as they come around the turn. Summer Moon and Flower Moon about to get swamped. Down the outside is Life Sentence with a good run. Doc's having another go. So also on the outside is Nuts and Bolts around Typhoon Tony and then Secryption. Summer Moon's fighting on real well though. Life Sentence on the outside is about to claim it, I think. It's Summer Moon. Life Sentence, Nuts and Bolts is still running on strongly, but Life Sentence, it's got the money here. Life Sentence on it from Summer Moon. Head away further. Bolts dismount got going in the middle and run a nice four. They were followed by the Doc, Secryption, Wild Vitality, Flower Moon. Further back to Queen Bearer, forget it went around. Then followed by Runganer, who finished back with Noble Legend, and they were the cab catchers in the lucky last of the day. Life Sentence, he deserved that, didn't he? Really, he hasn't had much luck. And Ian Walsh was able to give him a good run there, and he's finished them off. 4-year-old Bay gelding by Star Witness from She Must
2-8-15. So what happened is this one got through. 2 was right. 8 was right. And then 15 and something else. Anyway, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for today. We had 7 races here at Ballarat Synthetic. That was the last one, but I'm going to be racing tomorrow again. Probably we've got Sandown Lakeside tomorrow, which is there. So we'll take the Sandown Lakeside tomorrow. And thank you so much for being there, Tuna. Thank you so much, my friend Dowes. Thank you so much, my friend, for being there. Thank you, gentlemen. I'll see you tomorrow, probably at Sandown. Till then, have a great day.